People. I like to look at people and see what makes them look like they do. Our differences are really subtle. And I think it's amazing. We all have two eyes and a nose and a mouth, and they're all in about the same place, and nobody looks the same as anybody else. You know, given that basic formula, uh, the minor variations make all the difference. The examples I get from people are not ones that they even know that they're giving me. I think there's a saying that I may not have it quite right, but a really competent therapist pays as much attention to the change that falls out of a person's pocket when they're on the couch as they do to the words that come out of their mouth. And those are the lessons I've learned. Like I told you about John Kaneko. I mean, it was because of his personality. When he taught art, he wasn't teaching people how to represent things. He was teaching people how to not be afraid to experiment with paint and see what came out, and not to feel like they had to measure up to some external standard of master painting, but to be satisfied with and interested in what they produced. And he never said that in so many words, but you could tell that by his reaction to what the kids in his class were doing. He didn't say, "Now this is the way you ought to do it." He never did anything like that. We were free to be people in an artistic medium and express ourselves in the way that we did. I would say I grew up in a suburb of Sacramento. My parents bought a piece of property to get out of town. I was raised on Kavanaugh Way in Sacramento, in a neighborhood. It was a nice neighborhood, complete with an elderly lady that had a candy dish, and I would wander up and down the street and say hello to some of the people as a little kid. But then we moved out to this place that was undeveloped on the outskirts of Sacramento, and really that's where I grew up, and spent a lot of time with oak trees instead of people out there, and threw acorns at the squirrels, the ground squirrels, and had a completely different life. I was by myself there. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was very lucky to be in the home that I was in, and have the family that I had. I worked for CPS up here, and it was kind of an eye-opener. I didn't realize that there was so much difficulty in so many families. That was my job, was to visit families that were in conflict with law enforcement or something, had complaints, there was child abuse going on. That was all foreign to me. It was an eye-opener that there was that much difficulty in human relations, right even within a nuclear family. A lot of kids out there that maybe it would be reasonable to think they were afraid to go home sometimes.
What's your fondest memory in life?
Oh gosh, I don't have one. You know something, Cove? The reason I can't answer that is because I'm generating fond memories right. This one, what we're doing right here, right now, is going to be the stuff of a memory for me. It isn't very often that a grandfather has the opportunity to interact on this level with a grandson and have his attention, even though it's because of it's associated with a scholastic project, and nevertheless, it's a unique experience for me. We've never done this before, and I'll probably never do it again. And I'm aware of that while we're doing it. So this isn't a memory yet, but it has all the stuff of a fond memory. So that's by way of my best shot at an answer to that question.